a disaster occurred. And I don't know, like maybe when you get there, I don't know if they know that the patient is going to die. So sometimes you give it,
Are they supposed to pay anything? So you don't like your office?
You work with blood and all that, and you know how infectious all those substances are. That's the only best part, which is Suhum. Around that time, there was nothing like National Ambulance Service. So, poor extrication procedures, poor airway management, mishandling of bone and spine fracture.
Welcome to the fourth in the series of our show. Going around and telling you what the health system in Ghana is all about, what it entails, the people behind it, and the hard work that they are doing. Today we are in the Ghana Ambulance Service office of Suhum. We are here to talk to their in charge, in the person of Miss or Madam Guda Sam. We'll ask our usual questions for her to tell us about the ins and outs of their service. So without talking so much, we'll go into welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll first want to know who you are. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm Guda Sam, as you have said, from the central region of Ghana. I'm the last born of my parents. I had my basic education at the 7th grade Princess Academy, and then my high school education at the Accra High Senior High. Then I had my tertiary education at the Methodist University of Ghana. After that, I attended the paramedic and emergency care training school at Inkin Council in the Ashanti region. And then I joined NAS in 2021.
Okay, so since 2021, you've been at Suhum.
Yes, please.
How's the experience been so far?
So far, so good. Yes.
Okay. We'll ask about the organizational structure, the leadership structure of the Ghana Ambulance Service.
Okay, sure. So before I start, I want to give a brief history about the service. So I think in 2001, on May 9th, a disaster occurred at the Accra Sports Stadium between Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak. So which claimed about 126 lives on that very day. And autopsy reports had it that the avoidable deaths were caused through poor extrication procedures, poor airway management, mishandling of bone and spine fracture, and then poor hemorrhage control. So the government in power by then thought it necessary to invent an emergency service. Around that time, there was nothing like National Ambulance Service.
From independence to 2009?
Yes.
Wow.
So they thought it wise to invent an emergency service. So that idea was initiated from 2001 to 2003. And then in 2004, the National Ambulance Service was established, starting with 7 pilot stations, 3 in the Ashanti region, 3 in Greater Accra region, and 1 in the Eastern region, which is Suhum.
Oh, okay.
So Suhum is one of the pilot stations in National Ambulance Service. Yes, and they were trained with personnel from the Fire Academy Training School, and presently our staffs are trained at the Paramedic and Emergency Care Training School. So we have a training school of ours at the moment, and that's the only best paramedic training school in West Africa as I speak to you right now. Yes.
So does it mean that other countries didn't have paramedic training schools before we came?
Oh, well,
What you say is best? Is it because you attended the place? Or?
No, but anyone coming out of that institution is very, very good.
I see.
Yes, everyone. So that is why we say it's best in West Africa. And as I speak to you now, We started with 7 stations, and now NAS has about 279 stations nationwide.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that we have developed and we have gone very far. Yeah, so our core mandate is to provide quality and professional pre-hospital care to the sick, the injured, maternal and the afflicted. And also our objective is to also prevent unnecessary deaths in the country. Yes, so that is what we do as National Ambulance Service. We save lives, and we also provide education to the public, and we also give standby services to individuals who are having health walks, football games, and what have you.
Okay.
Yes, so.
The station is soon.
Yes.
What is the catchment area? Like, what number of, where does your service end, if I may ask? Or
Okay, like I said, we go for, is it trauma,
Okay.
medical cases, and then...
yes, as far as your services reach.
Yes.
Because I'm not sure people in Sawam may call you, or people
Okay,
in,
it depends. It depends. We have a station at Nsawam.
Okay.
So maybe if the car is not available, we can go there and then provide services. So it depends.
Okay. All right. So in the service, if you can tell us how it's structured by way of leadership.
Okay. So
from this your station, and then you can. Yeah.
Okay. So at the district level, we have the OIC, that's the officer in charge, who is the senior most, and we have the 2IC, that's second in command. So that's if the OIC is not there, yes. Then we have the operations officer. It takes care of whatever happens in the station. Then we move to the accountant. It takes care of financial aspects of the station. We have the fleet, transport officer.
Okay.
So we have the transport officer who also takes care of whatever happens to the car. He's supposed to report to the operations officer. The operations officer reports to the 2IC, and then it gets to the officer in charge. Then we report to regional. Okay. If there's anything to be done, we do it.
I see. So, do you usually get like emergency calls? What is the protocol that you
Yes. So with the emergency calls, the call doesn't, it depends.
Okay.
We have a walk-in call. Sometimes we have a control center. So you call that number. When you call, it depends on where the emergency is. If it's in Nsawam, they will direct the call to Nsawam. Dispatch.
Okay, so the call doesn't come to you?
No, it doesn't come. Sometimes it depends. Let's say if there's an RTA at Fire Service Junction, or maybe Obretima, they can, when we go for education, sometimes we give out our numbers, so they call straight. But since it's an emergency, you are not now, so we go and we attend the emergency. After that, we inform control that this is the case we have attended. We give them information. Okay. And we have an app, which is called the Patient Information Management System, also known as the PIMS. And this app has really come to help because it's making the service go paperless. At first, even though we still fill PCR form, after filling it, we upload the patient's information on the app. In case of any legal accusation or something, or for future reference, you can go there and refer. And also, you can apply, personnel can apply their annual leave on that app.
So it's for the service, it's not like for...
Yes.
It's not for everybody.
Yes. So, and it has helped because it will, you don't have to waste resources. Sometimes when you want to apply for leave, you have to pick a car, come to the office and fill a leave form. But now, you can sit in the comfort of your homes, just open the app, you tap your staff ID and your password, open your page and then apply for the leave. And it can also be used for disciplinary actions because of the cases attended. Yes, and annual appraisals. We can use that.
You do all on the app?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
So
I see.
That's how we operate.
Can you give us one success story that since you've been here, since 2021, can you give us one that we can remember? We can.
Oh, okay. For the success story, I will not say I'm the only one. It's with the help of my staff, yes. Because if it wasn't for them, I don't think we would have been able to achieve what we want to. So, in 2021, when I took over, the former MC, which is Madam Honorable Margaret Ansay, she lobbied and then gave us this office. There was nothing in the office, so we had to raise funds and then fix tiles in the office, as we are seeing currently. And we didn't have a place of convenience because we work 24/7. You just imagine when you go for an RTA, you work with blood and all that, and you know how infectious all those substances are. And you come, there is no place of convenience. You need to wash down. There was no place of convenience like that. So we had to lobby through the Achimpenhene, and then one philanthropist named Mr. Mensah, and then he helped us get a befitting place of. So I think that they have done very well. And then with the car too, sometimes you don't have to solely depend on the government because the government has much on them. So our car got spoiled. The injectors had a problem, and we also lobbied through the Ghana Maritime Authority to fix the injectors. And you know, when the injectors are faulty, you need to push the car. It's an emergency vehicle. You can't push the car. So the car was out of commission, yes. So with the help of Ghana Maritime Authority, we've been able to at least avoid some death, because if the car was still parked there, maybe someone would lose their life.
So for how long was the car off the road?
I think about 3 months or so.
I see.
Yes.
Is there a common occurrence, or was just?
It is. Yes, it is.
So in that case, then you, the officer in charge, must do the lobbying.
Oh.
Or maybe it comes from up.
No, you can't. You have to do the lobbying. When you report the issue, even though it will be done, but it won't be fast. Yes. So you also need to also act fast. Yes.
I see. Okay. With regards to your service, is there any success stories that you can share with us? Or that one, the officers on the ground can tell us. A case that if you hadn't intervened, it would have been bad.
Oh, okay. Oh. With the cases there, I think that all the officers here are good. It's just in one case, some of the cases, you know that this case is a bad case, so at the end of the day, the patient will die. But it's just 1 in a million that some of the cases are not successful. All the cases we've attended are successful.
Okay.
And Suhum is one of the stations that we have attended the most cases. From 2021 till date, we have attended about 980 cases.
I see.
Yes, and in 2024, even though the car was out of commission, we have attended 112 cases.
How? Okay, when the car was working?
Yes, we've attended 112 cases. So I think that the pre-hospital care services is very, very essential in the municipality and beyond.
Okay, if I may ask, the care that you give, or the calls that you get from, direct cases like RTAs and others, and the ones that come from hospitals, which one is more?
It's
on the
more.
Scale? Like which, yes, like the one you get from direct citizens, maybe there's an accident here, and the ones that you get for hospital transfers, which one do you receive more?
Okay, mostly the one we get directly, because that one, the patient is injured, you have to give
Those
some
calls
care.
are more than the hospital.
The calls, you mean the calls?
Yes, like the calls you get.
Okay.
From
From the
you don't get the
hospital,
calls,
yes.
so it will be difficult.
But most of the calls are from the hospitals.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Which goes through control before. But maybe in a month, we can get about 5 walk-in calls. Okay. Phone calls too, we can get about maybe 5. So most of them are from the hospital,
Okay.
which goes through control.
The control.
So the number that goes to control is 054 678 6483. 054 678 6483.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And our office number, that's home station,
Okay.
is 029 181 3211. 029 181 3211.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. But what about those 3 number calls, like 193,
119. Yes, that one is like toll free.
Yes.
So sometimes when you call, it goes through, maybe it can go through fire service, police before. So when you call, they'll give you the ambulance number to call. If it doesn't go straight, they'll give you the ambulance number. It's called this.
They will call.
Yes.
They will inform you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but initially when they started, they had is it 191?
112. 193. Yeah. But now,
it doesn't work.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Are there challenges currently? I mean, personally and with your other colleagues that you want?
We have challenges.
Maybe the predominant one, you can
Yes.
put down.
We don't have enough funds to run the station.
How do you mean? Explain.
You know, the services we render, we don't really generate enough money into our coffers. So it's difficult to maintain the station. Maybe if there's something we have to buy, we need to paint the office and all that. We need money.
But that one, I expect maybe government to be the one to do it. Anna.
Yes, but they are still
Okay.
making plans towards it. So that's one of the challenges we are facing. But we still go out and lobby to get things done.
So far, you've gotten a lot of things done. So, yeah. So you can get for the paint. You can get any other, apart from monetary things around the office. So if somebody comes and does all your issues around the office for you, you're okay. You don't have any more challenge.
No, we are okay. We can to even motivate us to work more.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't like your office. That's what you're trying to say.
Oh, we like it. We like
you think
it.
you should make it better for you.
Yes.
I see that you're in the same building with the fire service.
Yes.
Is it conducive or
it
not?
is.
Okay.
It is because at the end of the day, even when the tender moves, the ambulance has to move. Because if there's an RTA with the extrication, the fire service does it. So when they extricate the patient, we have to transport the patient to the hospital. So it's good we are even in the same yard with them. It makes the work easier. Yes.
Okay. If somebody calls you, either hospital or working, as you call it, are they supposed to pay anything?
With the payments, yes. So government has made some arrangements for coupons.
Okay.
So with that's for only emergencies. Let's say RTAs and then maternal cases. Because
let me ask you another. If somebody is in labor, they can call you. As you say, maternal.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, for instance, if there's an RTA, the person is injured, you can't go and ask the person to pay fuel. The person is injured, so that's what we use to transport the patient, and then maternal too. That's what we use to. But with referrals or CT scans, that's not part of what we do. So we take money, even though the coupon is there, but it's not enough to take us through all the emergencies. That's why sometimes we take money for the CT scans and.
Okay, so if there are referrals, like not emergency cases, those ones must be for fuel purposes.
Yes.
Is that why you have issues with the maintenance of the vehicle? Because if you are taking for fuel, then who maintains the vehicle?
We have a team at the head office.
Oh, okay.
So when we have yes. But as I said earlier, because of the resources are not readily available,
it takes a long
time, yes.
Okay, so we've had issues with referrals in this let me see region. I don't know for other regions, but I think what is here also reflects elsewhere. Where do you think the main issues are? Since you are the ones who attend the referrals, we in the hospital, we think you know, the system is some way.
So issues,
For instance, when you have a case and you have to refer, first of all, the issues we used to have is they say there's no bed here, there's no bed there. But now, the issue we have is when you, for instance, you call for an emergency to the control asks you, you should have called the place, okay? And if you call the place first, then you call the control, and then in certain cases, we'll have to wait for maybe long hours before the car comes. Sometimes they have to bring cars from far off.
Yeah.
So those things, sometimes they worry our patients.
Yeah.
So whilst you are here, we'll ask you, since you are the ones who have been at it.
Okay, with that one, I can't really say, but what I know is sometimes, even when you call and you get to the receiving facility, they will tell you didn't call and there's no bed, even though you've called. I experienced a lot of cases like that.
In that case, what do you do?
You have to wait
How?
till they get a bed for the patient, because the patient is on your stretcher. You cannot leave the yes. So that's why sometimes they need to really confirm, so that you don't keep the patient waiting on the stretcher and all that. That's why, yes.
That's why they need to talk to you and talk. Do they also talk to the doctor on the other side before they move?
Yes, they call, if it's Koforidua, they are referring the case, they call the ward doctor and then they confirm. Sometimes they'll ask you to wait, there's no bed and all that. So that's why.
So the issue is with the bed,
yes.
per se.
Yes.
I see. So I want you to take me through like the normal happenings in the office when you get a call from control. What goes on?
Okay, so when we get a call from control, we have something called the golden hour rule. Yes, so I think that is within 1 minute you are supposed to move from the base to the scene, wherever.
Within 1 minute?
Yes.
Okay, you continue.
From the base to the scene, yes. And then when we get there, so we have a GOTA phone.
Okay, yeah.
We communicate with control. So they will call and then you relay to them. So let's say control has dispatched you to Suhum to refer a case or transfer a case to Koforidua. Okay, so when they've called you, there's a case at Koforidua, Suhum Hospital, going to Suhum. They will give you the information about the patient vitals and all that. So we relay to them. Maybe we are Echo 4. We have codes. All the stations have codes. So Suhum's code is 4. Echo 4. Echo is Eastern.
Oh, okay.
So Echo 4. So Echo 4 comes from Echo 0. Then Echo 4 mobile to Suhum Government Hospital for an emergency. Over. Then they will also reply. So whilst we are relaying, they write the time. This is the time we left the scene. When we get to the scene, we relay to them. They write it, and you see earlier on I said that we write all those things for future reference in case of anything. Yeah. Even the interventions that we even give, you write it down so that if the patient's relative comes and says that we didn't give this kind of, it's already stated that this is what the care we give.
It's for legal issues.
Yes. So
when you get there, what happens?
When we get there, we check the patient's vitals and make sure everything is okay before you move the patient. Because sometimes when you get there,
the patient's already dead.
And I don't know, like maybe when you get there, I don't know if they know that the patient is going to die. So sometimes we'll give it, let you, but we also don't work like that. We have to make sure the patient's vitals is okay or stable before we move the patient to the receiving facility. So when we move the patients en route, we still monitor the patients and the vitals and all that. If they are supposed to administer oxygen en route, we administer and all that. So when we get to the receiving facility, we relay to control. Echo 4 arrive at Koforidua Regional Hospital. Over. They state the time, and the PCR form, we give it to the doctor or nurse receiving the patients with the vitals and everything on it, and they sign. But when you go, you have to also give a verbal report about the patient's condition.
Back to control?
No, to the receiving facility.
Oh, okay.
When you get there, you are given the,
tell them
what is happening to the patient before you hand over, and they sign on the form. Yes. So when we are leaving, when we hand over the patients, we inform control.
Okay.
Echo forward handed over patients, and then mobile back to base. So everything we do, we inform control, so that in case of anything, they know that this is what we are doing.
So when you get back
to base, we inform them. Yes.
So what happens when you are on a referral or on an errand, and then you're supposed to get another call from another emergency? Okay, not you, but the control. Okay. What's supposed to happen?
They will dispatch another station.
That's where I have problem with the 1 minute. 1 minute. If they are coming from TV.
No, they will not dispatch you. You are already on the case. You are
what I'm saying is that 1 minute, that golden, is it golden?
Okay.
1 minute. If the person is coming from TV because you are busy.
Okay.
That 1 minute. No,
so they will explain to the one calling that maybe to whom ambulance is not available. The ambulance comes from Chibi, so it will take some time. Even if you speed, you can't even get there within 1 minute.
So it means you can actually do with more ambulances here.
Oh, we need extra ambulance.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
If somebody wants to join the ambulance service, how did you go about it? Maybe somebody is looking, he wants to be like you.
Okay, so you apply.
You've given us your, maybe you have some special connection or something.
Oh, no, I don't have connections. So what we do is you apply. I think that every year they bring the forms out and all, but this year
you apply to the school or you apply for the job.
You apply for the job. You buy the forms in the bank.
After you are done with your schooling in the institution.
No, you apply for the job. When you are picked, you go to the school.
Oh.
Yes, so it depends.
So once you are picked, you know that after school you have a job?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the job you apply for, it's not the school?
No.
So once you get a job, will you get a school automatically?
Yes. So when they pick you, you will be trained. Some are trained for 1 year. We have the basic category. With basic, you apply with your HND, SSC or WASI. Okay. And then any other certificate that meets the requirements. So that's 1 year. Okay. And then we have the advanced category, which is 2 years. That goes with degree. So with a degree, you'll be trained for 2 years. And you come out as an advanced emergency medical technician. So
if you go in for the basic, when you come back, what are you on the field? What's your?
You are an EMT. You are an EMT.
Okay, but what about the 2 year program too?
You are an advanced EMT. So there are certain interventions that the advanced can do, and then you, the basic, cannot do. Like maybe setting of line. It's the responsibility of the advanced EMT to do that. Okay. Yes.
Okay. What about the drivers? Did they also go through the same?
Yes, the drivers also go through the
So they're also EMTs?
Yes.
Okay. But what qualifies them to be drivers though?
Their driving license, and they also, even though they can drive, they have experience, but when they go there, they are also trained and tested.
Okay, so if I get it, the EMT is different from the driver EMT?
Yes.
Oh, the training is different?
Yes. We have, it's the same training, but what differentiates both of them is the driving. But the driver too can administer care to the patient.
I see.
Yes.
I see. What about job satisfaction? You have been in this for how many years? 3 years?
3 years.
So you should be able to tell us if it's rewarding. If it's rewarding, what aspect is rewarding? Is it only the money? Is it your patient?
Oh, okay, with the money aspect.
In the first place, let me ask you this way.
Okay.
Do you have satisfaction out of your profession?
Okay, with the money aspect, I don't want to go there because.
Go there. Go there. Tell us what's on your chest. Maybe you never know who will see this.
You see, there is blessing in saving lives. So if you really want to dwell on the money aspect, then I don't think you are rather going to kill people.
So if you watch the money, there's no satisfaction over there.
Yes.
But what gives you satisfaction out of it?
It's the blessing that comes out of it. At the end of the day, even sometimes you go for a case, you take a patient to the hospital, You are working somewhere, someone will call you, Madam, nyame sure when I me call hospital, hey, say. So I think it's motivating and encouraging. But with the money aspect,
leaves much to be desired.
Yes.
More has to come.
Yes.
If the officer in charge is complaining, then I can imagine the other ones. If you were not doing this job, what job would you think you would be doing? Assuming you are not a member of the Ghana Ambulance Service, what do you think you'll be doing now?
Okay, I wanted to work in a bank.
As
oh no. As a manager or maybe customer service rep or something, yes. Because I think I know how to market or bring people or sell my company to people. Yes, so
that's why you're able to lobby for the injector. I don't understand. Okay. There are some people who have a lot of misconception about the ambulance service.
Yes.
And there's also a lot of politics surrounding it because of the way it came about. So I want you to look in your camera and say something to those people who have all forms of misconception. This is an opportunity for you to clear it for us. First of all, people complain about they having to pay even though they are told not to pay. So you've sort of answered it. And then we in the hospital too, we complain about sometimes your response time and the delays and all that and some of the questions.
Okay.
So you try and say something to them so we can bring this to an end.
Okay, so with the money aspect, as I've said earlier, the government has made provision for that, but it's not enough to cater for all the cases that we are supposed to. Imagine if you've taken the case from Suhum to Kumasi, an RTA case.
Has it happened often?
Yes, you go to Kumasi. And let's say the four coupon given is 1,000 cedis. From Suhum to Kumasi, coming back. The 4 will get finished, you have to fill. And if there's another emergency, how are you going to respond to that emergency? So we are pleading to each and everyone to understand us that the resources are there, but it's not enough. So as time goes on, things will change. So the money is not for us, it's for the fuel. And if there is no fuel in the ambulance, we cannot save lives. So we plead with each and everyone to bear with us.
What about the delays? Say something about that. The hospital people are listening.
So with the delays, most of the cars are spots. So let's say if the case is in Suhum and the Suhum ambulance crew is not around, maybe they've gone for another case. They will call Chebi or Osino or Isuboy. And looking at the distance, you cannot get to the hospital within 1 minute. So that's why sometimes it takes a long time. We just try to save lives. Sometimes when you look at the time and that's why our core mandate is to save lives. Give pre-hospital care to the sick, the injured, and the afflicted, and to avoid unnecessary deaths. So please bear with us. I also want to use this opportunity to thank you very much for also recognizing us to come here and then interview us. And I also want to thank our stakeholders, the Municipal Assembly, the Traditional Authority, Achempenhene, Ghana Maritime Authority, the Church of Pentecost, and Mr. Mensah. So I want to thank each and everyone, the fire service also, Ghana Police, Immigration, for their support. God richly bless them.